Hi guys, my name is Keval Chaudhary. I am a project manager of this project. We are total 4 members in the group. First one, myself, Keval Chaudhary. Second is Dhansri Pandya. Third is Ekta Parwal. And fourth is Abhishek Tandon. We are working honestly and friendly towards our objectives of the project. We are learning many new things in the programming. We also got many blocks while debugging the coding. So we learned how to solve those, and after solve it, we are progressing towards our goal. Before 3 weeks, we uploaded the first sprint of our project. As we discussed, we are developing application whose name is PEGS application. What is PEGS? PEGS is a hockey club, as I described before. Today, we are going to describe the second sprint of our application. You can see the table in the display. In this table, I mention what I done in week 7, week 8 and week 9. I mention activities and milestones of the application on those weeks. In week 7, I understand all the industry standard system design approaches and started to work on feasibility study of the application. When feasibility study of this application has been finished, I started to work on the data flow of the application. I describe it and start to design next after the login page in week 8. Login page was done in sprint 1. In week 9, we designed the second page of our application, which includes different drawers such as profile, selected events, upcoming events, and logout button. In sprint 2, what we have done and what we are doing, those sum of details are mentioned in this table. First, we have done to add drawers sidebar in the application. Also, we are still working on adding events and profile page. We are also doing testing on all the activities which we will add. In this table, I mention the detail of what I did in the sprint 1 and sprint 2. As the same, I also mention which blocks I got while working on the application and what is my plan to do next in the application. In the sprint 2, I gathered information regarding events and activities from the client and started to work on the application. I added some events in the application in the testing phase of the application. I also tried to fix some errors in the coding and made the second page of the application, which indicates profile selected events, upcoming events and logout buttons. In this sprint, we are still getting problems in the system except Mac. Our application is working on Mac, but it is not working on any other device. Next, I will add the name of the events and activities, and I will also add some information inside the events and activities regarding our client's requirement. Now you can see the login page of our application as we discussed in the first sprint. In the second sprint, we added the different drawers in the application. You can see our coding of the second sprint. It's very long code and difficult to understand by reading. But it's easy to understand by debugging the coding. So I am going to debugging it on the Android emulator. It shows login page as print1, and after login in the application, you can see the second page of our application. Now you can see the second page of our application in the display. Now I am going to hand over Dhansri Pandya. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dhansri Pandya. I'm just continuing the presentation from our friends. We are doing a PEGS hockey member volunteering application. So application is based on Android platform, and we are using Flutter as our technology. So in our sprint one, we have established successfully how the login screen is being created using email and password, and how to log out. And in the sprint 2, it's mainly focused on adding events, activity, drawer, and profile page of the volunteers. But this application's main function is to record the volunteers' hours worked in an event with the particular skill set. So we have seen that whatever we are using here is on the Android platform. So my part in the sprint 2 was to do a drawer page, which drawer is kind of a navigation button which is on the app bar, which is on the side with the list view. When the drawer is been clicked, it will show the profile button, logout button, and it will also show the upcoming events. My main duties was to understand how the Android and iOS application will work. It helped me create the product roadmap and app login page as well. So it is the main technical difficulties we have faced in the sprint 2 was that because emulator keeps on crashing, the coding part and everything was working properly, but as soon as we enter the login page and all the details, it just stops working. We are trying to get through that technical difficulties which will be solved by the sprint 3. So sprint 3 will be more clearer and all the functionalities by then will be added. And the next step is to make sure that all the client requirement is being fulfilled and satisfied as well with the application and its use. So I will be mainly focusing on adding the skill set, which is that what are the volunteers' skill set are, as in empowering, coaching, managing, and understanding how the events work. So we will be in sprint 2 will be focusing on adding all the locations and have an access to an admin which will be able to change the upcoming and selected events. And by till then, we'll be perfectly using our application in our system, and all the compatible issues and technical difficulties will be cleared by then. The sprint will be successful for the future for sure, but for the sprint 2, I would like to say that it's not fully successful because of lots of technical issues, but we have seen all the coding and how the team members are working on similar issues, but we were still able to create the drawer which says the selected events, upcoming events, logout button, and profile page as well. So these are the few of the coding screenshots which we were able to take from the visual code, but because the code keeps on crashing, we have to stop working and we are trying to reinstall it all over again. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ekta. We are a team of 4 members working on the PEGS Club membership mobile application. So I am here to explain my contribution in the project. So in sprint 2, I was allocated with a task of making profile pages for the umpires, coaches, etc. So where the profile will be included with the number of things, including the name of the coacher or the umpire, and then the gender, the contact details, and availability of the each umpire and coach as well. So for the availability, I have tried to add calendar widget in the Flutter Awesome to make it more flexible so that the volunteer can easily just click on the date or the time from the calendar, and he or she can see the availability of each umpire and coach, whosoever he or she wants to choose. But like at the moment it's not fully worked, but it's like still under process. But I am trying my level best to add this calendar widget to the profile so that it would be user friendly and more flexible. We were supposed to do number of things in this sprint too, like firstly adding some events on the home page, then adding activities in an event, then adding and draw on the sidebar, and then profile pages for each umpire and the coacher. So like many of the things are still under process, but we have done only the thing, like we have added a drawer just on the left corner of the app bar, where there would be some options like the profile page, the logout button, and 2 to 3 more things. Then so I would like to explain my part here. So what I did, as previously in sprint 1, my part was to create the login page, and the main thing what I did in sprint 1 was the data connectivity with the login page. Then in sprint 2, I was, as I explained earlier, I was allocated with the task of adding the profile page for each umpire and the coacher. So I have done this functionality, like it's not completely done, but it's still under process due to some technical issues. I was trying to fix that bugs, but it's not that much like easy as it looks like. But still, I am trying my level best to fix that bugs. Then what I plan to do next, my next step is to check the overall functionality. Why some bugs or technical issues are there, because by sprint 3 the whole application should be fully workful. So I will try to sort out the things as early as possible. So the main hurdles which I face, which we faced in this sprint, were the program crashes very frequently, because Mac sports Mac sport Flutter, but for Windows it's very hard to support Flutter, and it's a client requirement to work with the Flutter. So that is the thing that were the hurdles which we faced in this sprint 2.
So after the login page, in this sprint, we have developed various screens like a home page, dashboard, and various events. In this mobile application, in this part, my role was to add activities to the events that were listed by the client. As per the client's requirement, we added various activities like canteen and coaching, umpiring, and out of these, we have to add more activities, and we have added a drawer on a sidebar that shows the profile, logout, and selected events. And after that, we are working on the adding a profile page of the volunteer. So we have worked on the home screen, and after that, here's the design for the drawer I was talking about. It includes the profile, selected events, upcoming events, and logout functionality of the application. And my role was to add the activities to the events. And we are working on the profile page now, where the volunteer can customize his own profile page. And after that, the dashboard will be focused. Like on the dashboard, there will be different events that needs to be performed by the volunteers, and there would be a logout functionality working. So basically, we are in the process of developing a mobile applications, adding that, but we are not totally there yet. So we are trying to work on make the profile and events functionality to be working within like next week. And I'm trying to put I'm trying to put the various activities to the events. And as I already told about that, that includes like social empowering, coaching, and etc. We need to like filter as per the volunteers requirement and their qualification, so they can get their desired activity to be performed.
In the last, I am going to say that we are successfully done sprint 1, but we are still working on the sprint 2 because we got some issues regarding computer system such that our program is working on Mac but it's not working on any other devices. So we add only one page next to the login page. Now we are working hard and gives more time on it to finish all the work of this application. Thank you very much.